What if I told you a college hockey team of amateurs once beat the greatest hockey team in history, or that a 42-1 underdog knocked out the most feared boxer alive with one punch? Sports history is filled with moments when underdogs shocked the world, when favorites fell, and when impossible dreams came true. These aren't just games. They're moments that stopped time, changed lives, and proved that in sports, anything is possible. From Olympic miracles to championship stunners, get ready to relive the 10 most shocking upsets that no one saw coming and everyone remembers forever. 10. UMBC beats Virginia, 2018. March Madness history. In 2018, the University of Maryland Baltimore County Retrievers accomplished what had never been done in NCAA tournament history. As a 16 seed, they destroyed the top-seeded Virginia Cavaliers 74-54, becoming the first 16 seed to ever beat a 1 seed in March Madness. Virginia entered as overwhelming favorites with the nation's best defense, having allowed just 53.4 points per game. UMBC was a complete unknown from the America East Conference. The Cavaliers had won 31 games and were projected by many to reach the Final Four, but UMBC came out firing, hitting shot after shot while Virginia couldn't buy a basket. The Retrievers led by 21 points at halftime and never let up. It wasn't just an upset, it was a demolition that destroyed millions of brackets and created instant legends out of players most fans had never heard of. 9. Leicester City wins Premier League, 2016. 5,000-1 miracle. Leicester City's Premier League title in 2016 represents the longest odds overcome in sports history. British bookmakers had them at 5,000-1 to win the league, better odds than Elvis being found alive or the Loch Ness Monster being discovered. The Foxes had barely avoided relegation the previous season and were expected to battle the drop again. Instead, led by striker Jamie Vardy and manager Claudio Ranieri, they defied every prediction. They beat Chelsea, Manchester United, Arsenal, and Manchester City to claim England's most prestigious prize. Their triumph proved that in football, money doesn't always win. While their rivals spent hundreds of millions on star players, Leicester built a team for under £25 million and created the greatest underdog story in sports. 8. NC State beats Houston, 1983. The perfect ending. The 1983 NCAA Basketball Championship featured Houston's Phi Slamma Jamma against NC State's unheralded Wolfpack. Houston entered on a 26-game winning streak, with future NBA stars Olajuwon and Drexler leading a team that seemed destined for greatness. NC State had barely made the tournament and needed miraculous comebacks just to reach the final. With the game tied at 52 and seconds remaining, NC State guard Derek Wittenberg launched a desperate 30-foot shot that fell short, but teammate Lorenzo Charles caught it near the basket and slammed it home at the buzzer. The image of Charles's dunk and Coach Valvano running around the court looking for someone to hug became one of sports' most iconic moments. It proved that heart could overcome talent when everything was on the line. 7. Jets beat Colts in Super Bowl III, 1969. The guarantee. Joe Namath's New York Jets were massive underdogs against the Baltimore Colts in Super Bowl III. The NFL was considered vastly superior to the AFL, and the Colts were 13-1 favorites, with one of the most dominant seasons in football history. 3 days before the game, Namath made his famous guarantee: "We're going to win the game. I guarantee it." Most people thought he was crazy. The Colts had allowed just 10.3 points per game and seemed unstoppable, but Namath backed up with his words, completing 17 of 28 passes as the Jets won 16-7. The victory legitimized the AFL and paved the way for the NFL-AFL merger. It showed that confidence and preparation could overcome superior talent and proved that sometimes the biggest mouths deliver the biggest results. 6. Appalachian State beats Michigan, 2007. FCS stuns FBS. On September 1, 2007, college football witnessed its most shocking upset when FCS Appalachian State defeated 5th-ranked Michigan 34-32 at the Big House. This was the first time a Division 1A school had beaten a ranked Division 1A opponent. Michigan was so heavily favored that Las Vegas sportsbooks didn't even post a betting line. The Wolverines had 25 more scholarships than Appalachian State and were expected to use the game as a warm-up for their Big Ten schedule. Instead, Appalachian State quarterback Armandi Edwards outdueled Michigan all afternoon. With Michigan leading 32-31 in the final minutes, the Mountaineers kicked a field goal to take the lead, then
and blocked Michigan's last-second field goal attempt to secure the victory. It remains one of college football's most stunning upsets. 5. Stanford beats USC, 2007. 41-point comeback. Stanford entered their 2007 matchup against USC as 41-point underdogs, the largest point spread in college football history at that time. USC was the two-time defending national champion with a roster loaded with future NFL stars. Stanford had lost their starting quarterback the week before, leaving backup Tavita Pritchard to make just his second career start. The Cardinal had won just one game all season and seemed completely overmatched. But Stanford played the game of their lives, upsetting USC 24-23 on a last-second field goal. The victory was so shocking that Stanford fans stormed the field in disbelief. It proved that on any given Saturday, preparation and heart could overcome talent and reputation. 4. Rulon Gardner beats Alexander Karelin in 2000, Olympic shocker. At the 2000 Sydney Olympics, Russian wrestler Alexander Karelin was considered invincible. He hadn't lost a match in 13 years, had won 3 Olympic gold medals, and was known as the Experiment for his seemingly superhuman strength. Standing in his way was Rulon Gardner, a farm boy from Wyoming who drove a garbage truck in the off-season. Gardner was given no chance against the man many considered the greatest wrestler of all time. In a stunning upset, Gardner defeated Karelin 1-0 in overtime, scoring the only point on a technical violation. The victory made Gardner an instant American hero and is considered one of the greatest upsets in Olympic history. It showed that even legends can fall when faced with someone who refuses to quit. 3. Buster Douglas knocks out Mike Tyson, 1990, the unthinkable. On February 11, 1990, James Buster Douglas accomplished what seemed impossible. He knocked out Iron Mike Tyson. Tyson entered the fight as the undisputed heavyweight champion with a 37-0 record and 33 knockouts. He was considered the most feared fighter in the world. Douglas was a 42-1 underdog who had lost big fights before and was expected to be another stepping stone for Tyson. Most people thought the fight would last a few rounds at most. Instead, Douglas boxed brilliantly for 10 rounds, absorbing Tyson's best shots and landing combinations of his own. In the 10th round, he landed a perfect uppercut right-hand combination that sent Tyson to the canvas. As Tyson fumbled for his mouthpiece, referee Octavio Miran counted him out. The image of the previously invincible Tyson sitting on the canvas, dazed and defeated, shocked the sporting world. It proved that even the most dominant champions could fall to a determined challenger on the right night. 2. New York Giants beat New England Patriots, 2007. Perfect, no more. The New England Patriots entered Super Bowl 48 with an 18-0 record, seeking to complete the NFL's first perfect season since 1972. Led by Tom Brady and coach Bill Belichick, they were 12-point favorites against the New York Giants, who had barely made the playoffs and were massive underdogs despite defeating the Patriots in the regular season ending. In one of the most thrilling Super Bowls ever, the Giants pulled off a stunning 17-14 upset. The defining moment came when Giants quarterback Eli Manning escaped what seemed certain sack and found David Tyree, who caught the ball by pinning it against his helmet. The victory denied the Patriots perfection and proved that in the NFL's biggest game, anything could happen. It showed that defense, determination, and a little luck could overcome even the greatest offense in history. 1. USA beats USSR in hockey, 1980, the miracle on ice. The greatest upset in sports history occurred on February 22, 1980, when the USA Olympic hockey team defeated the Soviet Union 4-3 at Lake Placid. The miracle on ice transcended sports to become a cultural phenomenon. The Soviet team had won 4 consecutive Olympic gold medals and hadn't lost an Olympic place since 1968. They were professional players in their prime who had dominated international hockey for decades. Just weeks before the Olympics, they had destroyed the American team 10-3 in an exhibition game. The U.S. team consisted of college players and amateurs with an average age of just 22 years. They were coached by Herb Brooks, who prepared them with a grueling training regimen and innovative tactics combining European finesse with American grit. In the medal round, the Americans trailed 3-2 entering the third period. Mark Johnson tied the game on a power play, then team captain Mike Iruzino scored the game winner with exactly 10 minutes remaining.
In the medal round, the Americans trailed 3-2 entering the third period. Mark Johnson tied the game on a power play. Then team captain Mike Iruzino scored the game winner with exactly 10 minutes remaining. Goalie Jim Craig made 36 saves to preserve the victory. As the final seconds ticked away, broadcaster Al Michaels delivered delivered the most famous call in sports history. Do you believe in miracles? Yes. The victory came during the Cold War, when America needed something to believe in, making it more than just a hockey game. 2 days later, the Americans defeated Finland to win the gold medal, completing one of the most improbable championship runs in any sport. These 10 upsets remind us why we love sports, because anything can happen when competitors step onto the field, court, or ice. From amateur hockey players beating professionals to unknown boxers toppling champions, these moments prove that heart, preparation, and belief can overcome any odds. Which upset shocked you the most? The Miracle on Ice's David versus Goliath story, or Buster Douglas proving that even legends can fall? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more incredible sports moments that changed history forever.